It's time to get your pet questions answered live.
The number to call is 270-9933, and Dr. Carrie Donahue from Full Circle Holistic Veterinary Care joins us now. Hello.
Hello.
A lot of animals get very upset with the fireworks and storms coming. What can you do to calm them down?
Well, the good news is there is a lot of different things that you can do, but figuring out the best thing to do can sometimes be difficult. I usually recommend starting with just some over-the-counter things, like, you know, there's that thunder shirt that you can get for your dog and just kind of wrap them up tight in that, make them feel secure. There are different supplements like CBD oil, valerian root, melatonin can be given just to kind of take the edge off. And if that's not enough, if you're kind of combining those sorts of things, then your dog is still really anxious, talking to your veterinarian about getting a medication that can really help to calm them. And there are some good ones out there. There are a number of different options.
And make sure they're chipped and they have ID collars on in case they take off.
I know, because those, you know, the fireworks last night, those can be pretty frightening and shocking for animals, and if there's an open door, they can just run off to try to get away.
Yep.
So,
Did Poppy do okay?
she did okay. She got through.
Everyone wanted to know.
She's not that bad, and she's young yet. I really find that kind of as dogs get older, they get more anxious. The more years that they go through this, the higher their anxiety.
They can't see as well.
Right, exactly.
Those sorts of things. All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Clint in Baraboo. Hi, Clint. What's your question?
Yes, my question is, I've got a 2-year-old cat that he doesn't want to eat out of the bowl. He actually eats more like a raccoon. He scoops it up in his hand and tries to eat it out of his paw, but he makes just a huge mess when he does it. I'm wondering if there's a different type of bowl that I can get him, or...
That's tough, kind of digging into a cat's mind and trying to figure out why they do some of these behaviors. You know, yeah, and if you're feeding kind of a softer food, I'm sure that makes a huge mess. So
it's actually dry food. It's actually dry food.
Oh, and it just kind of gets all over everything.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you might just even try some different dishes. I mean, cats can have really strong preferences for different types of not only dishes, but litter boxes too, that sort of thing. So you could try stainless steel, ceramic dish, even one of those kind of like puzzle feeders where you can put food in different compartments and they have to work a little bit to get the food out. That might actually be something for your cat if they're doing that activity, behavior, to give them something to work on to try to get the food out of the dish.
Maybe he doesn't like the bowl.
Yeah.
Our next question, Todd from Austin. What's your question?
Todd, go ahead.
Hi, yes. We were wondering, you used to bring a Chihuahua on stage, and what happened to that Chihuahua?
Poppy.
Yeah, that is Poppy. And I had Poppy on when I was doing the Zoom calls.
During the pandemic?
I was at home during the pandemic, when I was at home and Poppy was at home with me. The tough thing about, you know, and this can kind of go for some Chihuahuas in general, she doesn't really love new situations. She doesn't always love new people. She gets really anxious. So that's why I don't bring her on with me into the studio.
And she doesn't like the car.
And she doesn't like the car. She likes to stay at home in her element. That's where she's the best. So I'm sorry, yeah, that Poppy's not been on.
When you're a star like Poppy, you can do what you want.
but doing fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to who's this? Joe from Janesville. Go ahead, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead. What's your question, Joe?
Hi, Mark. I have a 14-year-old Shih Tzu that I got from New Beginnings Shih Tzu Rescue at 4 years old. She has a collapsing trach problem, and she's had 2 rounds of prednisone. The first one worked fairly well. The second one, not so much. Now she's on hydrocodone, homotropine. Hi, Mark.
Good. Yeah, we've been listening. So you're asking what you can do for her?
Is there anything I can do to help her? Because unless she's sleeping.
Yeah, the collapsing trachea is a difficult thing for a dog, and it happens when they get older. The rings, the cartilage rings that kind of hold the trachea open, they can start to get soft and they can start to weaken. So when they're breathing in and out, they kind of collapse, and that causes the cough. So it sounds like your vet, you know, doing the medications like the hydrocodone to help control the cough is a good thing. I usually recommend a glucosamine chondroitin supplement if your dog is not on one already, because that helps to strengthen the cartilage, and making sure that your food and water dishes are elevated so they don't have to bend over to eat. Maybe you're doing that already, but that can be really helpful.
And a Shih Tzu has breathing problems to begin with.
Right, yes, exactly. I know. So at 14 years old, everything kind of becomes a little bit more difficult.
But there are some options at least. All right, we are out of time. Doctor, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, yes.